This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It is time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and off from a gallivanting journey out east to Long Island for some MMA productions. A shout out to our friends over at Flex Fighting Series out there. Had a great time out there with a crazy double 20 fight series, doing some live production, and my assistant for this weekend, who got her first dose of MMA, or as we used to call on the Wrestling Mayhem show several years ago, sweaty dick punching, is Katie Dutters.
So much sweaty dick punching. No, actually, there wasn't much.
Well, there's the guy that kept losing his cup, and they had to disqualify him. But other than that could have been a problem. So I mean, it was an exciting night. It was one of the most action-packed cards I think I had seen in a while. So this is not an MMA podcast; it's a tech podcast. But we do a lot of production around it. And Katie, you got your first kind of dose of what that looks like. I know you've been around a lot of wrestling shows, but this is your first MMA.
Yeah, this was fun. It was exciting, and yeah, I like the high speed, hot rod life of action sports production.
Yes, you're action sports and violence junkie. So
adrenaline junkie.
And also expert in social media and such, and basically any medias at this point. Because I'm like, hey, you want to learn how to do this kind of stuff. So no, appreciate that. Appreciate the videographers out there in Pachogi, I think it's called.
Pachogi.
I've been there twice, and I think that's the name. But no, thank you.
Yeah, near Gogley Beach.
Gogley Beach? Yes.
Ooh.
Which apparently was in the news for not great reasons. Anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. We're going to talk geeky stuff, and we like to start the show off first off with our awesome things of the week. Katie, what is yours? Very helpful one.
I know. I was super excited today. I think we got multiple notifications about this.
Yeah, I did.
I know I did. I was like, I got an email. I think I got a pop-up notification. And I think I got multiple,
I got more than one pop-up. I thought I was getting all the notifications from All Trails because I think I just let the subscription lapse, because I'm doing this like cleanse where I'm letting everything lapse and see what I actually use and want to renew right now. So
so you're the reason that we got this new feature.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, so we got we talk about using All Trails. I use it for hiking, you use it for hiking, and being out and about, especially when we're traveling. And so they've introduced what they call advanced condition. And essentially, we're going to be able to plan things better. What? Like temperature-wise, like what's the temperature going to be like on the trails? What are we looking at as far as wet? You know, like what point of the day are we going to be wet? What time of the day we're going to be cold? What's the ground conditions going to be like? Mosquito activity. Yes.
Fantastic. That's helpful.
Oh, yeah. Because, I mean, if you've been in certain woods, and especially in Western PA, you know there's spots that are like, let's just get eaten by mosquitoes.
Or if you're in other parts of the country, we don't even know what those bugs are. So I'm just like, I don't know what's biting me right now, but I'm not okay with it.
I don't like it.
No, this is great. Go ahead.
Great for packing, great for preparing.
Now, the All Trails Plus, the paid subscription, gets the weather along trails, ground conditions, and mosquito activity. But there is, I think, looks like general weather is included for free users. So
you don't get to learn about the mosquitoes. Sorry, friends.
Yeah, mosquito. Yeah, that's the mosquito upgrade apparently. No, that's good. That's great. And that honestly, when that lapses, I bet I think All Trails is one I will renew because I do enjoy it. I just forgot what. And that's the other thing. You get in these, like I was telling you, I was using the MyFitnessPal, and I was like, I don't think I used any of the plus features for the majority of the year, right? Like and it still does the food tracking and tells me my calories, and that's really all I looked at, but All Trails, again, once again, I don't know what the plus features were I was using. So I'm going to go out on the trail. Oh, I don't have that anymore. Okay, here's the other year, right? I think that's good for something like that, because I think you just do it, you forget about it. I have another one that I don't know if the app is useful anymore, because it feels like it's inaccurate half the time for driving weather. I think it's just called Drive Weather. So I think it's good to assess that, because you do like, oh, what am I paying for again? And we had this problem with the business, where it's like, I don't know what we pay for anymore. Sometimes I look at the statement, I was like, I think this is something Missy subscribes to for one thing or another, but I don't know what it is. So you do need to audit that at some point. And it's so easy in your app to just be like, don't renew, and you'll find out, right? So I think that's really, really important to do every once in a while, to be fiscally responsible. Not that I am somebody who's terribly fiscally
we are not
responsible. Mosquito upgrade. I like that for a title.
I kind of like it, because I feel like this is, maybe, I'm hoping at least, this is like a stepping stone into some other cool features that might be helpful, like as far as preparing for a trip, and maybe at some point we get like activity level, like the expect this trail to be busy or not, you know what I mean, like especially because you can sign in like I clicked on this link and it opened up All Trails, and they were like, log into your All Trails from Google Maps. And so, we know the Google Map technology uses the information of like, this phone is in this area, we can tell that this many people are at this business. Like, I'm wondering if we're going to get to a point where it's like, this trail is very busy right now. Or long term, maybe they collect enough data that traditionally this trail is very busy between this time and this time. Maybe you go here, which would be kind of neat, I think, too, because I do run into situations where I'm like, okay, what time am I going to do with the early risers or the late people?
And that makes a difference. Like, it is weird, because I'm going out into the wide opens, and I don't want to deal with people. Right? Is what is something that we deal with here. So which completely makes sense. I can't remember what I had signed in with on this app. I'm trying to show it off here on the iPad here, but and just a reminder, All Trails is really good. It gives a lot of information for for your your hiking. This is the thing. If you follow my Instagram, and people commented on how oh, you're always on a trail somewhere and hiking and stuff. It was like, yeah, because I go work, and then I have a hotel, and I have the morning, and I go find what is close by. And I'm not just going blind, going into, I don't know, maybe we'll go on a trail and not get lost, we hope. So I think that's really helpful for that. And it just helps with exploring with a little bit more confidence, So, like, that's been really, really good for it. I mean, what's the biggest advantage you've had with All Trails?
I like the downloading the trails is great for me. Downloading the maps, because certain locations there's nothing. There's absolutely positively nothing. And oh my gosh, I'm trying to see if there's like, let me see if I'm going to this trail. Will it tell me how many bugs are on this trail?
Yeah.
Like being.
And here's your updates on the All Trails here. I have it. It's small because I'm on an iPad. I guess we can do that. There we go. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't remember seeing that before. I did a preview of the trail and it walked me through it.
Oh, really?
And like as the elevation changed, I don't know if you can see at the top of the screen where the elevation changed. Like, wow. I'm just moving around Kildu Trail. Right. Wow. Okay. But no, because you will end up in places that do not have signal, and it's nice to have a downloaded map that you can use. And I will, sometimes even I'll end up off a trail, and I'll be like, okay, this road's here, or this is a thing here, and this joins this trail, which is really nice.
Wow. Yeah, it's like,
is that, I don't remember seeing that.
So I noticed at the bottom it says Mapbox. This must be a new upgrade too. So I'm looking at the Emerald Trail over on Mount Washington here, and that's pretty crazy. I like that. It's got a very it's not Google Earth, but it's very Google Earth like. And it's taking a dot over and showing you the length and the elevation gain and everything as you go through it. That is very, very cool. And that would be a really helpful, I think, a lot of times. So yeah, it opens up, you looks at it, and then it just kind of like rolls you through it. So I think that's good to kind of give you. I think that gives you like the nature of the trail a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Like it gives you just adds a little bit to your just ephemeral knowledge of it. If you're like, okay, I want to get really windy in this part, here we go.
Well, I think the elevation gain is going to be your favorite part of that,
yes.
because you're going to hit a point where you're like, okay, so I hit I do most of my climbing at this particular point. Like, oh, this is where things jump up. Like, maybe I don't want to hit this at this time. Or
do you want to hit that elevation gain at the beginning or the end or something like that? So it's all trails. It's free. I think you can get a lot out of it without paying for it to begin with. I think it's worthwhile. If you're, and I think that's the biggest thing, with my kind of fitness efforts a year ago, it was like, what makes things easier? Like, I couldn't imagine hitting all these trails without these tools, and that's why I haven't for so many years, because it's like, I'm gonna go into the woods and get lost and there's no cell phone service because I'm depending on what era it was, and and this is just me asking for trouble because I don't trust myself with this stuff, because I don't know this stuff, right? So that helps, that knowledge helps you get out there, and lets you experiment and find trails and see what you like a little bit without going in completely cold, instead of just like hoping you have hiking friends like Katie that would be like, don't go to this trail and
don't
everything.
Do this silly thing.
And that's I think that's important, so, and then it's one of the cool things about these apps these days. So All Trails, it's on, I believe, both iOS and Android. We're of course using it on iOS side, on our side. So go check that out. There's a website for it too that you can even just look up maps, I think, and look up trails there through that interface. So very, very cool. So we did go out east to I almost said New Jersey, but Long Island is not New Jersey. So, but it was a pass through. But we did, since we're out that way, we did venture to Hershey Park. I've been to the Chocolate World ages ago. And on a whim, we decided we planned to go to the park as well, because it was just like, we were there. Why not? Let's wrap it into this this whole trip we're doing out east, right? And it was kind of of course, Katie is a very good coaster buddy. I'm glad to see that your voice has recovered from this weekend.
Yeah. So, yes, it was bad. It's still scratchy, but it was still bad for the first part of the day, but it's finally gotten better.
But I didn't have any expectations of this place. I never looked at Hershey Park other than like in passing when I'm visiting. And again, ages ago, I don't know, over a decade ago, I went out there. We saw the Chocolate World, saw the singing cows on the free ride in there, and we filmed some high school football in the stadium next door. But it's you always hear about it, but you're just like, oh, how good can a chocolate park be, right, Katie?
Yeah. So. Oh gosh, yeah. Like I'd never been, because I like I said, it was, and I kind of out in that area infrequent, every so often I'm out that way, so it's like, oh yeah, I've seen signs.
I can't believe how many times I've driven by. I'm just like, never thought like, hey, we should roll into this. So it's one of the nice things about the travel, though. But no, it was an interesting experience. I'm not going to say it was okay. It's no Dollywood, but nothing's a Dollywood. First of all, right? So
that's our gold standard.
That's the gold standard is Dollywood for sure. And I know you have Disneyed and you have Universal Studios. I've done the Universal Studios. So I do appreciate the tech that was there, but it just seems like some of it was like half broken. I don't know, because it was a Monday. I don't know, because it's like later in the season and stuff just kind of gets weird. They do have like Fast Pass, and I wanted to bring my wristband. I cut it off this morning and left it at home. But you can get, it's called HPGo, Hershey Park Go, and they have the app, and it feels like they're trying to do like what we talked about ages ago at Mario World, where you had the RFID band that you bought for like, I don't know, how much was that thing? Like $60 or something? We paid for that.
Yeah, I think was it 40?
Was it 40?
I don't think it was as,
I thought it was like,
I don't think it was.
In my mind, it was like 70, but I think you're right. It was probably like 40. But I don't know. Everything was inflated in my head, probably. But this was, you get the band. We got the meal pass. We got the Fast Pass, because it was just like, it was a very off the cuff kind of visit, and I just was not up for lines. I just had no patience. So, and it was all through. And this band has both an RFID in it, and it's right under a Kiss, a Hershey Kiss, and then it also has a barcode. So when you go get food, you show them the QR code to cash in your food. And this is the fun thing, because this is actually kind of akin to another thing that we didn't talk about on here, because I was looking at the Sheets subscriptions, and you're allowed to redeem a free bag of fries with a Sheets $9.99 subscription like once every 2 hours. And this one is you could redeem for a meal in like a entree inside, like a burger and chips or a burger and fries or a sandwich and fries or whatever, once every 90 minutes. And we started just putting timers together and say, okay, it's been 90 minutes. Are we hungry between these roller coasters?
Yeah.
So I appreciated that. Again, certain things like the wait times, and one of the things that kind of led to me getting Fast Pass was the wait times were not updating on the app, and they kept going up and down, and they didn't seem accurate. So I was just like, screw it, we're gonna skip all this and just do that. And honestly, I think that's a thing these days. Everybody talks about how expensive theme park rides are, or theme parks are, and everything. This was like about a $65 ticket. It was about $95 for the Fast Pass, and I'm thinking about what we paid for Universal Studios, plus like $35 for the meal plan. Like, this is really just the experience. Instead of going and then like you're going to a theme park, instead of having to nickel and dime it, and I'm hoping you have the fortune to have the money to go to something like this, just expect to get these passes so you don't have to worry about things, right? Especially if you're going with 3 kids, that's a whole other equation. I know that. But if you're going with some friends or something like that, I recommend just do it. You don't have to worry about it. I got the free refill cup, it's just like the one at Kennywood, the tall plastic thing with the straw, and it had another QR code. You pay $20, and they had these fill stations, and you scan the barcode, and you have 20 seconds to fill 34 ounces of whatever's on there. So, which I should have used that opportunity to make some concoctions. Now I think about it. Again, a little bit it gets a little lot at the end of the day. A lot of stuff is out, messy, all that kind of stuff, because it's really not being actively attended to. But it was nice. They were very nicely placed throughout the park, it seemed. But I know, and we talked about, like, the park had a lot with it. We had a lot of fun doing the roller coasters. Took a speed run through their zoo. There's a zoo on the premises. There's a water park in the middle that we didn't even touch. Yeah, you still have this is from you took a shower and you still have your zoo.
I've washed it every time I've washed my hands.
Washed it.
It looks like blood
over time
still.
Here. Yeah. I started washing off like directly afterwards. I looked down and thought I hurt myself, and I was just like, "What is that?" So, no, it was interesting. On this shows, we saw like the end of a seal show. I was like, "This is like SeaWorld. What's happening here?" But no, there's a lot to it, but also there's no cohesiveness to anything. That's the thing. It just felt like they slapped a lot of stuff in there. A lot of it's very cool, but like we at one point we're looking and we're like, I see 3 roller coasters intertwining as I look out this way off of this platform, right? And but then it was like, and then there's a kiddie ride like everywhere, right? There's a kiddie ride like around every corner. So there was no designated kiddie land or anything like that. So
which is good though. I think is like, and I think Dollywood was a similar experience where we had kiddie rides in between things, because like, okay, your bigger kids go here, your little kids, let's go here. And we don't have to like send people, like you don't have to separate as much, and like Absolutely. So I do like that. But it was definitely like a lot of the lands were weird.
Yeah, like a Frontierland for I don't know what reason,
the Hollow.
Yeah, okay. So
Chocolate Town.
There was a Chocolate Town.
I mean, like those ones, like I don't know, like it was kind of confusing. It was like, okay, stick with the on brand kind of. It seemed or like get creative.
Deeper you got into the park, the less branding there was too, right? Yeah. Like there was like I think there's only 2 coasters that have the marketing, and one was broken, so they couldn't ride the Jolly Rancher. But no, and again, like, and we have the habit of going sight unseen on these roller coasters, and of course, the first one we do is the new Wildcat Revenge.
That was
So
hilarious.
that was
No clue what we
hilarious.
were getting to.
No
Yeah.
idea.
It was wild. It was great. It was like, what was it? I think we looked it up. It was like 2.5 minutes on this ride, and it was from start to finish was up, down, over, down, and it was a nice ride, but it was horrifying, and I was sad we didn't. So we keep talking about like things with the app that seemed kind of incomplete. Was kind of made it sound like when you bought the HP Plus, that you would be able to. Oh, that feels like such a subscription service, HP Plus.
Yeah,
that,
I know, right?
That it almost made it sound like that you would get the photos along, would be part of your app. Like, you were scanning your wristband, and it knows that you went on this ride at this particular junction, and like, this is similar to something that Disney does, where you will get your photos from like the Buzz Lightyear ride, other rides, and in the app, and like this kind of seemed like the same feel, and then it wasn't. So the first, like the most traumatizing ride, because we were just not mentally and physically prepared. We did not get to see the photos, and they do a thing. I do like this though, where they have the photos at the end, but they've got a cute, like a code over top of them, and they're kind of not super clear, but you still get the gist of your face, and they allow you to take photos of that.
Yeah.
Like you can pull your phone out, because the expectation is you will take those numbers. If you don't buy the photo now, they'll take the numbers at the end of the day, and they'll be able to retrieve that information for you.
Yep.
But we did not get this first photo, and that made me sad.
No, because we didn't think about it. Or sometimes we would have stuff in a locker and the phone. So it was like, oh no, I can't take down the code. I don't have a phone because it's in the locker, because I don't want to lose it on this thing, So I love. Do you have? You're probably on your phone on this, but like I love the what was the Sky Rush had the don't bring your phones, and it was just like a big plastic thing with just broken phones piled in it. Like, that has to be an Instagram post or something, because that was a wonderful piece of artwork, I thought.
Yes. I sent you the wristband too, because I did have a picture of the wristband, and then I have a picture of us on like what we equated to the log jammer ride. And oh gosh, I didn't even think about sending you all these lovely pictures of us just being scared. Oh my gosh, our face is terrible. Oh, I don't even remember like what you asked me for originally. That's how bad I just went down around. Oh my gosh, these are amazing. Oh wait, I'll send you that one too. Oh, here. Have a stack of photos. Oh yeah, enjoy. This is for everyone's enjoyment. I got a bunch of very scary photos for you. But I didn't even find that photo that you asked for. That's the funniest part.
The phone.
But I sent you a picture of the wristband. It's and so you can see the little Hershey Kiss, which you did tap, similar to like a Disney Plus band we talked about, or a Disney band at oh my gosh, where'd the photo go? I don't know. Maybe I'll find it eventually. But we took a lot of photos, and they're kind of buried in there. And the day was very all over the place. But yeah, that's Collector Clan goes, "What? We're going down a hill." And this is but that's what it looks like. So then you take that code at the end of the day, and you are able to, get there it is. Get to be able to, purchase those photos, which is pretty cool if you want to. There was a lot of packages, and which is typical for a lot of these music parks.
A lot of upsell.
Yeah, that's what you do, and like across the board in these attractions they do it. It's great. But yeah, look, I sent you the photo. Yeah, there it is.
Look at all the busted
Look at those
stuff. Phones. Oh, there's some sunglasses in there too. I just realized.
Oh yeah.
And I love those are such old phones too. Let's look at the flip phones and everything, and batteries are removed and everything like that. They probably would remove the batteries just to be safe with that, because it's going to be sitting in the sun all day every day. And we've seen from a recent event what happens when batteries are left in the sun. So.
Fire.
So, yeah, it's pretty good. Please remove Hershey Park are responsible. Yeah. So, but they were very good about like having places for you to put things, or the new ride had free lockers for the most part. So that was a really nice part. Really good experience. Definitely recommend. And what you said, it was like a really good value for what it was.
Yeah, so you mentioned like the cost of it. You do have to buy the tickets online to save 25%. It will be like 80 some dollars if you buy them at the door.
Right.
Giant had a discount, AAA had a discount. But yeah, so that was great. We spent, oh gosh, we figured we got there a little after 11. We closed the park down until 9 o'clock. Just on roller coasters. We didn't touch the water parks besides walking through them. We didn't experience. There was a lot of, like there was a lot of great like kids splash area, to slides, to racing slides, and like all kinds of inner tube things that we never even got a chance to touch. We don't ride certain rides because they just don't agree with our systems anymore. Like
a lot of times
super spinny things.
spinny and holding you upside down rides are a no-go these days for us.
And I don't do Ferris wheels because no, I don't.
I was trying to talk her into it. She needs to go on the big eye in Vegas next time she goes, because that I think that should be fine. It's so slow, and it's it's so big, and you hardly know you're on a thing. So, but other than that, yeah,
but I'll still know I'm in the air.
You'll still know you're in the air. Well, just be like you're on the
It's
building.
not the
or something.
movement part, it's being off the ground part that I don't like.
I think it'd be a good challenge for you. I think you would be relatively okay. Like,
is there a bathroom in there?
Not in the you're gonna have to hold it for 25 minutes. So, but there's a bar. But there's a bar before and after in the facility. So if you need a little bit of liquid courage to get in the bubble,
But yeah, we were out there all day. Like we just, we stopped to eat. We didn't. I mean, there wasn't. I don't think we did anything. We didn't get too terribly distracted. We didn't play any games.
No.
This was all, which was the first time I've been to an amusement park that was all cash free.
Yes.
Or cashless.
Yeah.
Sorry. And seeing, they had a specific setup to get tokens and which was all pretty cool. But it's like I said, it was like, how are they handling this? I'm like, oh, that's the machine. That's how they do this.
Which I'm sure is another one of those things that's like a post-COVID thing that kind of stuck with them, because I mean, there's a little bit of an upsell, like, I just had to do a thing in Chicago where I was like, okay, how do I park? Oh, I need to put $20 on this account to do this $6 parking, which means I got like, $14 sitting on an account for next time I go to Chicago, whenever that's going to be. Right. So, which literally I do not have that on my agenda right now, confirmed. So who knows, but I guess I'll end up in Chicago sooner or later. But yeah, no, it's one of those kinds of things. So, whatever, it's,
I think unless you've worked in those like cash handling facilities, or capabilities or whatever you want to call it, roles in amusement parks or whatever, you don't realize how time consuming the cash is. From the moment you're asking for the money, receiving change is exchanged, you're counting the money on the backside, you're setting up a drawer, you're bringing out a drawer, you're counting down a drawer at the end of the night, and like cashless is just the way to go.
Big efficiency, isn't it? Yeah, no, that's really smart. Well, we are also cashless here at the AwesomeCast. We are on patreon.com/AwesomeCast, and thank you everybody that does support this show. We do throw some extra stuff. We talked about Katie's glasses here before the show, and then we recorded it. We'll probably throw that up on the Patreon for you guys. And you guys can support the show again, patreon.com/AwesomeCast. Thank you to those that do currently support the show. Our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, Cynthia Klosky, and John DeGore. And at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor and Dave Podner, spouse of Ruth's Jewelry Affair at ruthsjewelryaffair.com. There you go. Thank you guys for supporting the show. And of course, if you guys want to get involved with the show, go to awesomecast.com, which is the main site, sorgatronmedia.com. And of course, hit us up on all the social medias, podcast, subscribe, wherever you would like to. We got AwesomeCast on just about everything except for YouTube. I think we're in AwesomeCast over there, but I think I did get at AwesomeCast when they did that update. So so go follow any of that stuff. We're on the Mastodon, of course, at Sorgatron Media. AwesomeCast at sorgatronmedia.social. So if you're on the Fediverse over there, and Threads, of course, we're on Threads. So I don't know. Before anything else, should we do a Threads update? I mean, I've been using it, but I can't say that there's been any difference. There was just a big update today. Didn't you just show me that there was a big Threads update? Somebody just showed me that, or maybe I just got an update or something.
Everyone keeps telling us things are updating. We're like, what's happening?
Yeah, exactly. The Tuesday update Tuesday, right? So I don't know. Is there anything new? I know this is your first time kind of going on a trip and probably posting things out there. I know you were telling me you had some people responding to things as we were on our travels over the weekend.
Yeah, it was definitely it's still amusing to me where I will just like get a bunch of notifications of my friends jump over. Like
Mm-hmm.
like, oh wait, a bunch of my friends are now here. This is fun. And yeah, so
that's definitely slowed down for me a little bit. So that's been nice. So but yeah, no, I mean I've been posting stuff over there, getting responses there, and still getting some responses on Twitter. So I mean, it just like it's an extension. As far as I think it's part of the package right now, right?
It seems like it's looking through my stream like after the update, I don't know if this is a thing or not, but just looking at it, it seems like it's more people that I'm following versus folks that I don't know. For whatever reason, my Threads app is obsessed with whoever Bobby Cherry is replying to.
Oh my gosh. I get
and
everybody
I don't
he talks
why.
with. So much sheets, and I don't mind that, but there's so much Taylor Swift happening over there. What the heck?
Yeah, I have no clue, but I think he's my most like this is the person that apparently Threads since thinks that we would really be interested in whoever he's talking to and following.
I don't terribly mind that because it's like, hey, your friend is talking to such and such. Aren't you interested in that? Like that's okay. You just have to get used to it. Unfortunately, it might turn into like you might end up muting your friend because you don't want to see Taylor Swift in your feed anymore for whatever reason. So I don't know. I don't know what that's. I don't know if that's a net positive or not. So, but I think that's part of the experiment. So I think they are throwing some stuff at the wall here and some ideas here. They're not explicitly making money. You don't see ads yet. It's part of the early part of the experiment. Of course, they're probably getting data for everything else that serves you ads in the metaverse. But no, I think it's a net positive for the most part here so far.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm still enjoying it. Like and I'm understanding, and it's definitely I think you've experienced this in your world too, where we're having folks go, oh, I'm on it and I hate it. It's not the people I'm following, and the people I'm following, and it's like, oh my gosh, chill, folks.
Yeah,
chill.
yeah. Give it a second. Give it a second. I don't know what people want. It's like the wrestling. Like I don't know what you want from this thing, but
it'll be there. It'll be there. Things will change. It's just
Katie. Have you ever done a 4D movie?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever watched Ready Player One?
No.
Okay. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, man, then I'm gonna have to bridge you on this. Okay. Most people that watch this show have watched Ready Player One for good or for ill. I
think the ill was the thing that scared me.
Yeah. But still, conceptually, I think it was a very interesting movie.
Oh yeah.
And I've read part of the book and just couldn't. I'm just not good with books right now, and haven't been for a long, long time. But anyways, this is not the point. The point is, so there's it's a VR, and depending on what's going on, there's if you had enough money, you get this suit. It's a haptic suit, so you get to feel the things going on in virtual reality. Everything that's going on in virtual reality, Katie. And there's even a little allusion to that at some point in the movie. Spoiler alert. And they're like, wow, that's a really interesting futuristic thing. And I mentioned the 4D movie because I remember watching Wonder Woman and getting kicked in the back a lot during that thing, during the fighting sequences, right? So if you love getting kicked and want to feel when you get stabbed in Assassin's Creed, there is a haptic shirt that you can get, and it's part of the. I believe this is part of the Assassin's Creed. I guess it's separate. It's branded Assassin's Creed Mirage Edition of the haptic gaming system from OWO. I don't know how we're saying that these days. OWO Haptic Gaming System. They're partnering with Ubisoft for the branded setup. So it is going to be, and they show a lot of VR in here, and I didn't know this was a part of this, and I'm kind of curious if this is also a part of, we talked about there's some I don't know if I'm talking about on the show, but I don't know. We've been seeing ads for this group VR thing that you can go to, and I wonder if you get this
now.
as part of it. And you see the haptics in there. They're kind of showing off a piece of that in this video, and this is an article off of Kotaku.com. But yeah, so it's very interesting. So basically, yeah, you play the games. They're looking at the VR, but ideally you would be playing Assassin's Creed, and if you fall, get hit or something, you'll feel a little something happening. The haptic thing, like think about the haptics that happen in your watch or on your phone, or the idea that the mouse on your MacBook is not a button, but it feels like a button because it has haptics built into it. I don't know, and I know this was talked about a while ago, but for the past maybe 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, Katie, your mouse has not been a button on a MacBook. It has been haptics. So it feels like it. Is probably indiscernible from that, and also like when you feel that little tap on your wrist from your Apple Watch or something, like those are haptics. Now imagine you wore a shirt that did that.
I'm picturing like future iterations being like, oh, you are poisoned, and like it just like presses on your like,
the
I'm getting
button.
sicker.
So they're saying, it sounds like they say that you'll feel the consequences of incoming attacks, according to this article. So if you they're saying you'll get vibrated in the approximation of getting stabbed with a sword and things like that. So I don't know. It's like, I'm sure there's nothing that actually hurts. It's just like you feel something like that kind of thing. But it's a next step into the immersion of video games, and especially when we're looking at VR and that. This is like piece of the puzzle, and there were little pieces of the puzzle, and then Apple took iPhone and put them all into one thing that was amazing, right? So we're getting all these little bits. I'm not saying Apple's going to be the one necessarily to do this. Who knows with this new headset they announced last month. But you're getting the haptic thing. You're getting this VR thing here. You're getting this idea here. We're getting this motion sensor here. One day, all of these are going to come together into one really cool thing, right? Like we're seeing at least that promise of sci-fi, at least, with this kind of thing. So OWO, haptic gaming system. Katie, what game would you like to play with haptic feedback?
Oh no. Can you imagine games where they hug you?
Where they hug you?
You like feel like you're getting a hug, like you would just like press at certain points.
Nice comfort game like that. Like that
Oh,
might
yeah,
be
it's
a thing.
Game.
Because
I like that idea.
There's mindfulness apps, right? When you do VR, there's the flight app. You've seen at the airport, and I saw this at the Area 15 out in Vegas. The thing where you fly and they blow you air as you're flying through the air and moving you. Like maybe that there should be a comforting, hugging thing for therapeutic, kind of situation, right?
Yeah, I like this idea. So no one's working on it. We should.
I think somebody. Well,
Probably.
Unfortunately, I think somebody's working on it. But I think they're in another industry, because we know there are some virtual interactions. I know that were being worked on in a certain adult industry. That stories that I know that have been bounced around. I don't know if we talked about them on here or not. Probably. So I don't know. You never know how it's going to go. Katie, this is probably going to be for you. This next story I have on the rundown. You like classic games. Obviously. Do you remember when we talked about AntStream on here?
Yes.
It's a website. You can get the app on Android. You can do it in the web on your phone. And basically, you have access to, according to this, 1,000 retro games, right? Well, it might be more on those things. But they are bringing AntStream as a game app front door something to Xbox. So Xbox One through Series X, you'll be able to now play over 1,000 retro games. Now, the other cool thing with this is, and this is the part where it's free for you on the other platforms I mentioned, but they have competitions, and you have to get gems, and they'll give you some, but eventually you have to pay for them, and you can compete with other people in some of these arcade games. We're talking about original Mortal Kombat, Metal Slug, a lot of SNK stuff. There's a lot of Star Wars games on here, like the Nintendo Nintendo and Super Nintendo Star Wars games and arcade games are a part of this. Monkey Island, like a lot of crazy stuff you don't see in a lot of packs. But then there's Namco, there's Pac-Man and stuff like that, right? So like there's a lot of really cool stuff going on there. It is also do I have a proper link to the site? No, I don't for some reason. But so if you want to play this, it is a service. It is streaming to your Xbox. These are not I believe sitting on your Xbox, downloaded to your Xbox. This is a streaming cloud platform. So like a Game Pass, but for retro games. So they are selling this. It was in pre-order as of, I think it comes out maybe later this week or next. I'll try to get that date here real shortly. So, but you can get it on pre-order on the Xbox store. It starts at $29.99 annually. Not bad, but it is a subscription. Or you can pay a lifetime membership for $79.99. So you are, of course, depending on will this company go on. So you're just like, okay, am I going to get 2.5 years out of this company? You know, you could go for the $80. I feel like it was, geez, it was on pre-order, and I thought you got something extra on the pre-order. But 1 out of 10 people will get a lifetime subscription if you pre-order for the yearly.
Ooh.
So take your odds there. So like I said, I play, you know, every once in a while I get in there and play the old Burger Time. I had a Burger Time card on the Nintendo, and I'm still terrible at it. But no, I just really kind of appreciate that game. So it's just really kind of cool to pop in, even if you don't get the Xbox version, and literally you can go and try it, you know, in your browser. Saying 1,300 classic games according to this by now for your passes, and you see that like it is Game Boy games, Atari Lynx games, it's Jaguar games. It's like stuff you're not looking for, stuff that was on the Genesis, the NES, the PlayStation. Basically, the newest thing on here is PlayStation 1 games. They also have some retro games I think are a part of this that are brand new. So like I think it's a pretty cool concept, something a little different. I like that it's coming to consoles, and that's not a bad price. Gauntlet is on here. Joe and Mac. Ah, my God, it's so much stuff in here. So
Earthworm Jim,
yeah, that old Interplay stuff that I don't even know who owns it anymore is a part of this, and there's a lot of cool classics popping up in this video here. No, I really appreciate this. So it's on, like I said, this is the big Xbox kind of round. You can also get it on PC. And actually not look at that. I don't know if that's like a you know, under the Xbox banner or easiest place for road to play. Let's go. So yeah. Oh no, yeah, you can go. Oh, I got to sign in for an account and everything. But yeah, and there's free apps for. So no, I downloaded an app too. But if you have an Android-based TV platform, I have a Google TV Chromecast, and I downloaded this to that. And you know, hook up your Xbox controller or whatever you have. I think it supports about everything right now on those devices, and you can just play your games on your TV. So it's very cool system. I not have, obviously you're in pre-order, but I've tried the service and I'm a big fan. Actually, a friend of ours has been playing a lot of stuff on there. It's not a huge gamer. So definitely check that out if you're into the classic games. Katie, what else do you want to touch on here in the storyline here?
Ooh, sorry. I was scrolling through the games. I was like, Commodore 64.
A lot of Codemaster stuff, like Dizzy, The Adventure, like all those games. Like it's really crazy.
It's back to those like all black screens, and you're like, the commands were just like walk forward. Like you find a thing, and like you have no idea, especially if you don't have any sort of book or anything. You're like, what am I supposed to be doing in this world? Oh,
like Maniac Mansion. Yeah, there's a lot of LucasArts games on this.
Oh, I love
like the old PC LucasArts games. I never really dove into those, but man, they're like the if you wanted to, they're accessible on there. So it's really interesting how much like Star Wars and LucasArts stuff is in there right now. So and even like, you know, like I said, a lot of early Midway, a lot of early Mortal Kombat is a part of it. So very cool. So
let's talk about Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers? Okay.
Yes.
This is a Lego. Oh, what do they call it again? Hold on, I'm trying to pull the article back up. This is one of those fan project kind of deals. So this is not a released thing. But so somebody has put together a Mr. Rogers Lego set in the fan creations. So again, but and I think those are, again, I'm not the Lego expert here, but I believe that means like the plans like to do it, or you can vote it, and maybe they'll make the set in a limited edition kind of situation. I apologize. The iPad is definitely not cooperating right now for me to even pull this dock up. So let's see if we can do something else with this. Oh, my iPad just went nuts.
No.
So yeah, no, I thought that was really cool. Mr. Rogers Lego set. Definitely. I feel like a lot of our friends would be into trying out something like that.
It's so cute. Like the front end is the door. Like it's just like his living room, and then the other side, it's the land of make believe. It's cute. Sorry, very excited.
Yeah, nice little setup thing. Like I know. It kind of reminds me of the Friends one where there's the coffee shop kind of setup.
Yeah,
a little bit. Because I know our. I think. Did you keep receiving those or something as gifts? was that it?
No.
Or was it Mad Mike had? It was probably Mad Mike had one of those.
Mad Mike, yeah, he's got those. Yeah. I do not.
So definitely very cool. Go check that out on the Lego Builders, and we'll have the link. Even though it's not working for me at the moment, we'll have the link in our document. How about a robotic guard for your home by Amazon? I feel like this was previewed a while ago.
I want to love it.
You want to love it, but also
it's adorable.
But also, this feels like how Black Mirror starts, right?
Yes.
So it's Astro, Amazon Astro. Yeah. We're just calling it Amazon Astro, I think. Trying to bring it back up because my iPad's going away. But I think you have it in front of you. What is it? Can you pull up the details on that?
Yeah, so you have, it's an adorable little thing that rolls around and follows you behind you. But it also monitors your home, stay connected from anywhere. It can check on certain room, people, things. It'll alert you if it has an unrecognized person or certain sound while you're away.
Mm-hmm.
So it is keeping an eye on your house and what's going on in your house. I like. Here are some uses for it. There is an A-Train Together subscription, so you can remotely care for aging loved ones, giving you peace of mind while helping them live independently.
Okay.
You set up reminders, manage shopping lists, receive activity alerts, and more. Very nice idea. Like, you know what I think most of us, or a lot of us, do kind of struggle. Or at least personally, I can say I struggle with the use case, and then like the what else could it be doing?
Yeah.
But it says it turns off Mike's cameras in motion with a press of a button.
Mm-hmm.
You can set out of bounds areas, so little dude's not hanging out in your bedroom if you don't want a little dude in your bedroom. But it also works with different accessories like a Ziploc container, a blood pressure monitor, the Furbo dog camera that tosses treats to your pets. I like the part you can dress it up with the skin. Like you can have fancy wheel details to make him even cuter.
I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Yeah, but I do like the Furbo. I do. I'm just looking around. I'm like, oh, I wish I would like the ability to talk to my cats and throw treats at them. Well, I'm glad.
It's Rosie the robot, isn't it, from Jetsons? Yeah. So I mean, that's what we're trying to get to. I feel like we've had a version of this, or maybe we saw an early. We must have seen like an early article.
I think so.
Of this, right? So no, that I think
that's blinky eyeballs.
Really interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to get my iPad to actually be the right way so I can show this off here. But yeah,
so it'll wander on your house and it'll tell you where it's going, and you can have it give it look around, like let me check to see what's going on there, or it can just kind of wander around on its own, which is cool.
This is not fully available now. This is kind of in a preview mode right now, right? So it is, let's see, get to the details here. Amazon Astro, it does include a 30-day trial of Ring Protect Pro. It's a day one edition. You can request an invitation to purchase this $1,600 device. And are you purchasing it with Ring Protect Pro, or are you going to purchase it with Alexa together? Sorry, I said the A word. So this is you would be. I really think you're basically beta testing things at this point, and it's got that little face. It's got a little screen on it with the blinky eyes and everything, so it can kind of emote to you. So I think that's going to be a big take on that. And so look at them looking at it. Look how concerned she looks in it. And the other guy's smiling at it.
Looks at her.
I love like the video is all about what do we do with this thing from looking at it. So but you know, but this is easing us into the idea of having these helpers, right? So, and I think, you know, what
I'm just thinking, so I kind of mentioned this weekend. Is like I kind of things tend to happen at or around my mom's house when I'm the furthest place from my mom's house. And sometimes you have your mom, and they're very independent, and the roles have turned where you will message them or call them and they will not respond to you, and you will get worried and get total role reversal from whenever. I get it. This is revenge. But like, I am just imagining us getting these for our moms and them just not, like, for whatever reason, being busy and not getting back to us. And then all of a sudden this robot activates to look at them and be like, check your phone. Like, I have the robot looking for you in the house right now, Mom.
I love those little telescope that go above the counter space in the it's crazy. I love it. More peace of mind.
I do like it. Did I turn the stove off? I like that. Did I turn the stove off?
Oh,
did I leave the iron plugged in? Go look, little buddy. Now call the fire department.
And it's it's literally one of the use cases here. It says help support the ones you love, you know. So it was like, here, hi, Amazon, let our robots take care of your old people. Oh, this is definitely Black Mirror. Or your pet, or you know, I mean, yeah, no, it's a good idea if you can really afford it. You know, you're gonna have a nice house with hardwood floors, like every sample in here is, by the way. So I hope you're fancy. I have area carpets kind of person. Like it has here. I like to put M&Ms. Yeah, it is a Ziploc storage container. Here, take this. You know, I always.
I want to know what does with stairs.
What's that? How does
what we to do with stairs?
Yes, exactly. Right. I mean, well, the answer is you get one for each floor. You know, I don't have a lot of. You and I have these classic Pittsburgh homes that have the second floor, and neither floor has a lot of floor space, right? So, like, I was thinking about, I was like, well, how would I Roomba? And it was just like, oh, the answer is I'm going to have to get a Roomba for each floor. Right? So, you know, it's like, I don't know about it. Like, it's perfect here in the studio because we're just a wide open space with multiple rooms that are all on the same level. And even the level that's different has a ramp. So,
yeah,
because we're very ADA accessible here at Sorgatron Media. So yeah, but I mean, it's the same concept, right? So, if you had the money and a lot of hardwood floors, would you be picking up a robot?
I want to buy one for my mom so bad.
I know, right? I know. The dogs are just gonna knock it over. She's got a lab, you know, for mine. Yeah. It's a good idea on mine, but just I don't think.
Yeah.
Like where she's gonna have a problem is where this thing's gonna have a problem, and I don't know if that's gonna be workable. So for now, this will when you get the Wise Cam version of this robot.
Yeah.
So that's when it's going to really kind of roll out. Oh. And it literally does. Katie, it's been fun catching up once again over the tech and geeky and the fun and everything. So Chilla's, of course, on assignment. So, this new format, I forgot to give a shout out to our friends at Slice on Broadway. New York City style yins are made. Actually, I think this is when I'm supposed to do it now. Beachview, Carnegie, whole kinds of places all around. They are actually going to be around for Taco Mania, which is happening this Sunday. No, next Sunday.
No. I was like, no.
Next Sunday. Yes. No, there's a lot of other things happening. So yeah, next Sunday is going to be that. And so go check that out. Our good friend Slice on Broadway are going to be out there at Southside Works for Taco Mania, which is going to be our friends that enjoy wrestling. We are not involved in that. Although I think, Katie, you will be in attendance. Unfortunately, I will be missing it because I'm working it somewhere else that weekend. So,
No.
yeah, I know. Planes do not work the way I want them to get me back in time. So, so there's that. So, but no, go check out slicesonbroadway.com. Thank you to them. Thank you, Katie, at KDutters on the Twitter, Kate Marie PGH on the threads and the Instagrams.
And all the random places. Yeah, I'll be on an assignment next week.
You will be. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'll be in nice, cool San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah. So, I go to I'm going to Erie in West Virginia this weekend. So,
where the crap are we now?
Exciting.
Like, I don't even want to be like, where in the world are we now? It's like, where the crap are we now?
And then the week after, I'm going to Seattle for some work. So, looking forward to that and seeing our West Coast friends, our Northwest friends.
Look at these 100-degree temperatures.
Oh, no.
San Antonio, Texas.
You're going to melt. You're going to literally melt out there.
So. Overnight, it's like the low is 75. That's the lowest.
That's okay. Everybody lives in air conditioning out there. So, like, as a rule. So I'm sure you'll be just fine the places you're going. I mean, as long as you're not... As long as everybody's taking care of you with the hotel, so
really?
I think it's a work trip. So right, so
yeah, I'll be fine. Everything's good.
You'll be fine. So I'm at Sorgatron. You can follow my adventures as well as I'm traveling wherever the hell I'm going, whatever the hell I'm doing next. I am of two minds on what that's going to be at the moment, but definitely for the next 2 weeks, where I'll be for. Our friends at Defy Wrestling in Seattle and our friends at Revenge and VCW this weekend and maybe something cool locally on Saturday. Saturday, I'm either working or playing around wrestling or combat sports, and I'm waiting for the final word. So, you know how it goes. Thank you, everybody. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.